Welcome to the Division 1.0.2 patch notes. I am 3Guns Down. I'll be reading you the patch notes for March 22nd in 2016 and commenting on them, of course. I'll do this for every major patch that I feel is relevant to the Division, not minor ones or quick hot fixes. Most of that stuff will be glossed over in a few days, but major patches that have major changes incoming that I feel that are important, I will of course talk about. I'm going to go over the large parts of this and ignore a lot of the minor bug fixes, but if you want all the patch notes and fixes, there will be a link down in the description below for you guys to click where you can go read everything on your own. So let's start with some of the big ones. Named enemies will now drop better loot in challenge mode than in hard mode. I feel that this is really nice because people would be doing challenge mode and bosses would still be dropping blue loot, which is total bullshit. Because if you're able to do challenge mode, first off, you're not wearing blues. I mean, even when you hit level 30, generally you're not wearing blues. So them fixing this is super duper nice. It's going to make doing challenge mode a little bit more worth it than it already was. We get the Phoenix credits, we get the guaranteed high end, and we could possibly now get more high ends off the bosses themselves. Here's one for PvP if you ever actually managed to experience any PvP, which most of you did not. Added a cooldown period for the static turret stun attack in order to avoid a stun lock in PvP PvE. And what this was that the turret shoots an electrical dart, and this can stun lock NPCs and players. Completely stun lock them. Like, they can't do anything. And so I knew this was OP, which is why I ran with it a lot. And yeah, it was basically just like a wind gun. You put it down, the first shot it gets off, that's it. GG, you light them up, they're dead. And even if you weren't going to immediately kill them, you could stun lock one other person and not worry about them because they were going to be stun locked for like a good 30 seconds, and you could just kill their buddy and then kill them. So it is highly effective. Onto the Midas. Modifications to the weapon talent Trained. It can only be rolled on shotgun, marksman rifles, and pistols now. Its bonus has been reduced from 1 to 5% down to a constant 0.1%. For the Midas SMG, Trained talent has been replaced with Responsive talent, which increases damage when getting closer to the target. This applies to all existing weapons as well as newly acquired ones. For all SMGs, LMGs, and assault rifles, this will be replaced with another randomly picked talent. This applies to all existing weapons as well as newly acquired ones. I think they should have left it on the Midas. I do completely agree with them nerfing it down to 0.1%, but I think they should have left it on the Midas. It gave that Midas its unique flair with its ability to crit and all the other things it could do. I don't like the responsive talent in general. It feels like a waste to me. It's like, oh, you do more damage if you're under 10 meters or whatever, the closer you get, you know. Talents that don't do static damage or add a static benefit to me, like 4% health on kill, or 20% headshot damage, or 28% increased crit damage, or things like that. I mean, for a DPS-based build, I'm going to go for what is static to me, which will always provide me those basic benefits, because it's something constant that I can always rely on from a maximum output of whatever it is that I'm doing, whether it's damage, healing, you know, whatever. I'd still think they should have left it on the Midas, which is another way to one of my big complaints with unique high-end weapons such as the Midas, the Caudicus, the Liberator. None of them have talents that are unique to themselves. So theoretically, you could get an LVOAC high-end that has rolled the exact same talents as the Liberator, but at higher percentages and is just always better, which makes the Liberator completely useless and not worthwhile at all. And for that reason, I feel like unique high-ends should have a talent that is specifically just for them that no other gun has, which gives them a unique flair. Somewhat like Destiny's Exotics. I feel like they definitely should have treated it like that, not a model of the gun that they gave some fancy paint or gold embossing or whatever. They should have treated high-ends, unique high-ends a little bit better in my opinion. A lot of these other fixes for general gameplay fixes are simple bug fixes. I'm not going to go over them. The big ones in the Dark Zone. Players will not be able to fast travel to Dark Zone checkpoints when coming from outside of the Dark Zone, which is fantastic. If you're at your home base, you can travel straight to a Dark Zone checkpoint. You cannot fast travel inside the Dark Zone still. This is exactly what we wanted. This is great. This is fantastic. Everybody loves this, agrees this is the best thing. And it makes sense. So I'm so happy they managed to move on this much quicker. This was more of a quality of life thing. I thought they would take their time to get around to this. But no, it's something that they implemented instantaneously on like pretty much their first major patch of the game. And I'm super happy about it. The Dark Zone disconnect timer has been increased to 30 seconds, meaning players remain in the game longer when blah 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 blah. This basically just fixes some people that were going rogue that managed to actually get to a safe area out of combat and had a manhunt timer, and then they could log out. And while it was a long timer, they would be able to log out and get away with it. This fixes that a little bit, so the gradual improvements. Here's an interesting one I didn't actually see coming. Players killed in the Dark Zone now drop ammo, medkits, and grenades. I like that. Players killed in the Dark Zone will now lose less Dark Zone funds and experience, rogue and non-rogue. So this is across the board. If you die to NPCs, you're going to lose less. If you're a Rogue One, you're going to lose less. If you're a Manhunt, you're going to lose less. I wonder what this percent is, because currently it was 10% at Manhunt. I would like to see the overall scope of all of it reduced by like 50%, like 5% at Manhunt, and then down the scale from there, or even 60%. I think that would be a good point that the risk of going rogue starts to be comparable to the rewards of going rogue. Speaking of rewards, Dark Zone funds and experience rewards increased when surviving rogue status have been improved, which is great. It's more incentive to go rogue, more experience to go rogue. Hopefully it's enough to make us go, not 1,500 Dark Zone credits, you know? Dark Zone funds and experience rewards for killing rogue agents have also been improved. So this is going to want people to go more after the hunt of a rogue, which, I mean, obviously everybody's already... Any rogues that I've seen lately, I swear there's like 10 people running down the street chasing them just because there's no rogues. So this is going to definitely make it a little bit better. It's going to make people want to go after that rogue more. More incentive to stop whatever you're doing and run after this person, knowing they give you more XP. That they give you more experience and, you know, credits and whatnot. And, this was in the patch notes, however it has been removed because of stability issues, and it will come in a later patch, but just to be aware, this is coming at a later date. Phoenix credits drops have been increased on level 31 and level 32 enemies in the Dark Zone. Now, as it says, please note that due to this fix causing client instability, they are removing it from this update and will release it in a later update. So it's still coming, but they're just going to release it later on. Level 30, Dark Zone named enemies drop 1 to 3 Phoenix credits. Level 31 drop 2 to 4. 35 drop 32 drop 3 to 5. So that's a really nice big fix in my opinion. I think that kind of balances it out, the Phoenix credits, and it gives people a reason to go to level 32 zones, which are so sparsely populated, but it's like if you have the gear and the ability to do level 32 zones, every time you kill a boss you're going to get 3 to 5. So you can also quickly now farm Phoenix credits up in the Dark Zone, level 32, level 31 even areas. And here's some more really good stuff for the Dark Zone I'm very excited about. Increased drop rates of high-end items from level 31 and level 32 NPCs in the Dark Zone. Again, more reason to go up to those level 31 and 32 areas. Super nice. It just means that we have more of a chance of getting stuff in general. Increased drop rate of high-end Division Tech materials from level 32 named NPCs in the Dark Zones. Good. It just seems like, for me, especially now, level 32 is where I'm going to be consistently farming, because of this high-end Division Tech. The high-end Division Tech is the bottleneck for me in terms of crafting better gear. I literally, like, run around and being like, okay, can I get any more gear from here? Can I get any more tech from here, or tech from here? And it's like, alright, when I have 6 pieces of high-end tech, I get to craft 3 pieces of gear. That's been the huge bottleneck. Hopefully this is enough of an increase that it removes some of the bottleneck. I do agree there needs to be a little bit of one. Like, obviously you need to go out and gather supplies in order to be able to craft stuff, but not nearly as much as it is. I craft maybe 1 to 2 items a day from my best sets of gear because of this. Improved Dark Zone chest item quality. Rank 30 chests will now drop superior items or purple items instead of blue. Key chests now have a chance to drop high-end gold items. This is amazing, because we complained that the level 30 chests, it's worthless, why would you even go to level 30? This is great. This is great. So all the 30 chests are going to drop purples for us now, which we were getting like candy anyway every time we killed the boss, right? And every time we saw a key chest, like, purples are just flowing out our ass. So there's no reason to not make rank 30 chests drop purples, and they did, and it's fucking fantastic that they did. What's better is that key chests now have a chance to drop high-ends, and they didn't before. And I was actually shocked that they didn't before, but I'm so glad they do now. This This is going to make who grabs the chest very interesting, and when you grab that chest, is someone going to kill you and take your shit because you're standing there staring at the chest? Like, this is going to add another little dynamic to the Dark Zone of, like, when people walk up and they touch the chest and it's like, okay, he's got it and our group didn't, fucking light him up and we're going to take his shit and run away. This is just all around making the Dark Zone better. Dark Zone fund drop rates and on quantities on NPCs have been reduced, which I also think is a good thing, because we just got way too fucking much. We were able to buy everything super easily, so it just didn't matter. And that's it for the major patches, major patch note information. Again, there's a lot of little fixes in there, some issues that you may or may not have experienced. A lot of these things are not going to be geared towards you if you haven't experienced them, but I mostly went over the stuff that's going to affect everybody, such as Dark Zone drop rates, all that good stuff. Like I said, the link for the patch notes will be down in the description below for you guys. This has been the March 22nd, 2016 Division Patch Notes 1.0.2. I'm 3 Guns Down, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all down in the description below for you guys. You can also come watch me on twitch.tv/3 Guns Down, where I will be having all my Division shenanigans, and I'm going to be killing a lot of fucking people tomorrow in the Dark Zone. That's going to be fun. Come watch. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Very much appreciate it. Keeps the channel going. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button, and if you dislike it, tell me why in the comments below. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day, everybody.